guys, this is Dormouse03. This is The Evil Within, Akumu difficulty, chapter 12. And so, I said in my last video that I thought that this chapter for me was the hardest of the end game chapters. And here's one reason why, this big guy. So this first fight with him I didn't find too bad. You just want to try to shoot him in the head as much as possible and keep him stunned. Joseph does some pretty good work, but it's basically sort of learning this guy's pattern. So when he goes to stomp his little claw thing, you want to try your best to just kind of move around. If he looks like he's slamming his claw down toward the back of the car, you need to move to the front, and vice versa. When he starts to do this, I would recommend the shotgun for these guys, because he shakes the car around like that if you don't kill him quickly enough, and it makes it just very hard to aim with something like the pistol. So there he goes, and like I said, that first part with him isn't too bad. These little guys are not a one-hit kill on you. They're like, they just grab your ankle, and so they make it easier for the boss to get a one-hit kill on you, but if they touch you, the first one anyway will not kill you. If you are still in the animation of trying to cut yourself loose from the first one that grabs you, and the second one jumps on you, that will kill you. So that's kind of the way that it goes with that boss. But like I said, the first part with him is not too bad because he doesn't take that much damage to take him out that first time. The second time we fight him, it's going to be much more challenging. So there's the checkpoint, there's the crossfade, and this section right here, I would say, was one of the parts that I disliked the most of this chapter, because you have a bunch of guys upstairs, up on top there, shooting at you. It takes a while to get control back, by the way. That's why I'm just standing around. And there's just not very good cover from any of these guys. And they have things like dynamite, like you see right there, which if you ever see someone coming up on the side there with dynamite, you want to make sure to get away from where they are, obviously. And you want to try your best to keep them from coming inside the bus, because if they get up onto the bus, then the chances that they're going to take the dynamite, throw it, and then you're not going to be able to get away become much higher. And so I tried a couple of different strategies for this section. I tried staying out here and shooting things, which is kind of what I end up doing. I tried going to the front of the bus where you have a lot of cover and hiding, and trying to let Joseph and Kidman do a lot of the work. And that works, except when someone with dynamite gets through, you're just at such a bad position. I don't know. And so I ended up trying to hang out here and trying to snipe the snipers. And then there was that guy there, and so I ran up. And see, this is the place where you're actually fairly safe. They can throw bottles and stuff down here, and most of the time, I would say 9 times out of 10, if they throw a bottle and you're standing right there, even if there's fire from it, it won't hurt you. So this is kind of a little area of safety, but like I said, if someone manages to get through, it's pretty bad. So in the end, I stayed out and shot, or tried to help shoot, the majority of these guys, and then when I ran back here to get away from the one that was coming up in the bus, I kind of just stayed here and said, okay, let's hope that these two doofuses can actually do their job and keep some of these zombies from getting to me. And then I used the sniper rifle to kill anybody who got onto the bus. You see that right there? That looks like it should kill you, but it doesn't. But randomly, sometimes it will. So, like I said, about 9 times out of 10, probably it won't kill you. Sometimes it will, for whatever reason. So when they say up front or something like that, there will be a guy with dynamite, I just went ahead and shot him. Joseph will eventually shoot him, but I wanted to get that section freaking over with because it's terrible. So maybe you'll have much better luck with that part than I did, but I was stuck there for probably about 15 minutes trying to get it to play out the way that I wanted it to. And you don't have to worry too much about ammo conservation there, because they do drop quite a bit of ammunition, especially pistol bullets. So just be aware of that. Now this is the fight with this guy that you just really have to do it a couple of times and get hit by his attacks a few times to kind of know what they are. So he kind of, watch where his claw is, that's where he's going to do his little stomp. And then sometimes he'll do a thing where he does like that, he'll swipe and you need to crouch. Sometimes he'll do an attack where he puts both claws up in the air, and in that case, you need to get over to the left-hand alcove of the bus. And I hope that he does that move on this particular run, because I want to be able to show you what that looks like, but I'm not sure if he does, guys. I did this section quite a few times, and I don't remember all the attacks that he did. So I'm using some heavy stuff right now, trying to get some headshots with the sniper rifle. There's the swipe attack again. You just have to be very quick with your reactions to things, because although he isn't a super fast boss, it can feel really quick when you are trying to put damage on him and whatnot. So there he goes. He ended up not doing the thing, but if you see the little alcove to my left right now, in between the seats, if he does this move where he moves closer to you, and he'll do both of his claws and scrape them down the middle. Usually, if you get over to the left in that little space between the two seats, and just sort of crouch in there and try to push yourself as far up to the side as you can, usually that will help you miss that attack. But sometimes it'll clip you anyway, and that's just the randomness of this game, guys. That was the best way that I found to avoid that particular attack. So you kind of have to just get a good run, make sure that you understand his patterns. And I believe that one that I was talking about, the where he scrapes both claws up the middle, is the only one that he does that he did not do during the playthrough that you just saw. So
don't let any of them on board.
Just be aware of that. Know that it'll take a few times to kind of get the timing on him down and whatever. So that is that. And then the rest of this section is only frustrating because there's a section coming up toward the end where it really needed to have a checkpoint in there somewhere. But so I'm going to try to lure as many of these haunted to the barrels as possible. Usually 2 or 3 of them will cluster up right here when you throw the bottle, and you can get them with that first set of barrels right there. There are a bunch of bottles scattered throughout this little area here, and you can use them to your advantage to lure the haunted where you want them to be, so that you can get them in some of these explosive traps that are set up. So here's my second bottle. I'm going to throw it kind of to the right of that trap, because I want them to be moving toward, like, past the explosive and toward the barrel. So I used the explosive right there. I'm trying to put a couple shots into this lady. A lot of these enemies have guns or dynamite. So just be careful of them. And then when you see them start to run past some of these barrels, hopefully it gets them, but sometimes they'll get through. And you just have to be vigilant. And I'm using my shotgun from far too far away right now, but I didn't want to risk getting too close to these enemies because, like I said, they have pistols or sawn-off shotguns, most of them, or dynamite, and all of those things can get pretty bad if you get close to them, and sometimes there will be more of them than you think there are, and so you'll be focused on a couple of them, and someone, you know, out of nowhere blindsides you with a shot. So, trying to play it careful. And now I know that there's a sniper up in the middle toward the back by the ambulance, but I can't quite see him from where I'm at right now. So you're going to have to move a little bit farther up, I think, to be able to get him. You just want to take him out of the way because, you know, anytime there's a sniper, that's a very dangerous threat. And so it looks like one shot to the head will kill him, even though he does have a mask on. And I'm not quite sure how much I've upgraded my sniper rifle damage at this point, but probably a couple of times. And so I sniped him, and I'm kind of waiting because I think that there are a couple more haunted as you push on up through the level a little bit. And I don't want to end up getting caught out unaware by them. There's also a lot of stuff kind of scattered throughout around under these cars, and I probably missed some of it because I'm so focused on just kind of making it through this section. That I wasn't really concentrating 100% on picking up the stuff, so everything might be dead. But I was just very cautious here because I'm right at the end of this little sequence, and I did not want to die. So, is there some handgun ammo over there? I thought there was some handgun ammo kind of near that trap, and maybe I just missed it. There's also some bear traps in this area, so be careful of those. And I haven't seen any right now, but generally they're about kind of in the middle while you're going through the cars, and I'm not 100% sure whether I walked around it or whether one of the other haunted had kind of tripped it off or what, but just be careful because there is a bear trap or two kind of in that section leading up to the car that you have to go over. If you hit that, there's generally a haunted, yep, there he was, back there that barrel will get. And then all you have to do is push up into the ambulance. And now this is the part where I felt like it really should have had a checkpoint at some point between this one that you're going to get right here and finishing off this next sequence. Like, I don't know. It's not too bad when you're doing this run because the very end part you're not really going to die, but I feel like it just really should have had a checkpoint when you get to the bus. It should have. So, I'll talk about that when we get there. But right now we have to deal with Mr. Machine Gun Guy. And this is harder than it seems like it might be or should be. But you kind of have to lure it. So you can't get through here right now. You need it to blow up some of these cars so that you can move forward. And so you kind of have to use yourself as bait so that it will shoot some of the cars that are there. So then we run here, we get behind that one, then we run over to the left here, we hide behind this concrete, and then I'm going to shoot that barrel there because he likes to shoot it and that can hurt you. Hide behind this concrete. The concrete is a place of safety, so you want to use that to get a breather because the cars will explode, so you can't hide behind them for very long, but the concrete is safe. So that douchebag decided to throw some freaking dynamite before he got off of the machine gun, which is annoying. When you're standing right in front of this truck, you're also safe. So just keep that in mind. That's why I was sort of waiting there. I was kind of waiting for the guy who was on the machine gun to get down. But now you want to not die, because if you die here, you have to go back to the point where you were running up to the machine gun. So just be careful here. It's kind of hard to see because the gun, the iron sights obstructs a lot of your view. And then it shakes around so much, you can't really tell what's going on. But I kind of move it back and forth across the guys that I can see, because some of them will have guns, some of them will have dynamite, and you just want to be putting some bullets into them to kind of stagger them. So you'll see me just sort of sweeping it across, and that was kind of my strategy for this part right here, because I didn't want any of the guys to get off a shot. And so my thought was, if I can just kind of spray and pray across the area where I know that they are, I can get some shots into them so that they kind of stagger around and won't be shooting at you. So when Kidman starts calling for you, that means you've done the waves that you need to do before this final one. And so you have to move away from the vehicle to trigger this. And so you kind of wait until the 3 or 4 of them climb across the vehicle, and then you can get back on here and finish them off. Be careful of people on the side like that. Just be aware that it's kind of hard to see them, and so if they get on the side there, they can sneak up on you, and it's no good. So once we've done that, the music will kind of continue, but as long as you don't see anybody, you can hop down, pick up any of the precious resources that they may have dropped, and head back toward the bus. And I feel like it should have had a checkpoint when you get to the bus. I really do. Because this next section here, there's an achievement for not hitting any of the haunted on the road. But you don't get a checkpoint here. So if you hit one and want to reload your checkpoint, you're all the way back before you started running up to the ATV. And
Let's get out of here fast.
To me, that's just, I don't know, that's just a poor choice. But right now, you don't have to worry about that, because who cares about that achievement? You just want to get done with this level. So this is kind of the way that I move through these enemies, and I wasn't 100% concerned with not hitting any of them because I've already gotten that achievement. But this is the pattern that I kind of took when I was doing it. So once you get right here, and you can hit some of those haunted, it doesn't matter. It won't kill you or anything. So that is the end of chapter 12, guys. I hope that it's helping. I hope that you found it a little bit easier than I did. And I will see you in chapter 13. Thanks for watching.